month. I don't do it on my birthday because that would be a good birthday, but I do it on my birthday month. So I just know I got to schedule an appointment sometime in June, and I do it. I already did it last month. All right. Chiropractic, spinal manipulation, $25 copay, 12 visits max. You got all the maximums and things inside your packet. Physical therapy, I would say that if I was to name the weakest benefit, this would be it. Physical therapy is 20% after DED, that's deductible, that stands for deductible, per calendar year. So your deductible is on line number 7. It runs calendar year, and it's $1,500 deductible. Don't hem and haw yet because we have the GAP plan that's going to pay for all of that deductible. So just wait until the end to make a judgment. Again, this is a good time to bring up that your deductible runs from January 1st to 12/31. And that's kind of strange because your plan year is from September 1 to September 1, right? So what's the deal with that? It's just the way it is. You're not on an annual deductible. You're not on an annual plan year anymore. You're on a September 1st plan year, which is very common. And just so you know, I'll give you the best example I can give you is that if you met your $500 deductible that you have right now, it will give you credit towards your $1,500 deductible, okay, on September 1st. So we switch the new plan, it gives you credit towards that $500. So that's how it works. It's the same thing, it's just hard to think about that way. $3,000 for family. That means a single meets the deductible, a spouse meets the $1,500 deductible, and you're done on a $3,000 deductible for the family. The third and fourth and fifth don't have deductibles. Hospital co-insurance. You ever heard of an 80-20 plan? That's what this is, an 80-20 plan. It's a $1,500 deductible, 20% after deductible per calendar year. You pay 20%. Insurance company pays 80. MRIs, CAT scans, PET scans, 20% after deductible per calendar year. Emergency rooms and urgent care. I'm going to spend just a little bit of time here. ER is emergency room. UC is urgent care. You can see that urgent care is much cheaper. Emergency room is $125 copay plus you have to pay 20%. Urgent care is $50. I would stay clear of the emergency room at all costs if you can. Just stay clear of it. Because what it is an uninsured doctor's office now, is what it is. Because not everybody has health insurance and people are going there for anything. And what they do is they go there and they just don't pay their bill, and then who ends up paying the bill? We do. That's why they charge 7 times the amount that any other provider charges. So not only should you stay out of there because probably it'll be full and you don't want to wait, but also because we're all in this together. This plan, the more claims we have on this plan, the more premium we're going to pay next year. So to try to prevent those claims is worth it. Now, I'm not saying don't go to the emergency room. I'm saying be careful. Don't go unnecessarily. Try to go to urgent care. It's much cheaper. All right? The difference, though, is that urgent care, you have to go in network. Emergency rooms, if it's a true life-threatening emergency, they'll have to see you and then they move you to an in-network facility after. Remember this Anthem.com. Make sure they're in network. So, just to give you an example, let's say you cut yourself really bad, all right, and you're bleeding and you need stitches right away, okay? Are you going to go to the internet and find where the urgent care centers are first? Be like, hang on a second, I'm going to bleed, but I'm going to go to the internet. No, you're not going to do that. So the best thing to do first is to go to Anthem.com, find out where the urgent care centers are, and closest to home, closest to work, maybe general areas, and then put them in your phone. So you know where they are, under urgent care. That way when you look it up, you'll know where they are. When an emergency happens, you'll know where they can go. One step further is I would actually call them. I'm not sure if Anthem has the hours of operation in their network, but if they do, you'll know the hours. But if not, call them and say, what are your hours? That way for future, when you need to go there, when it's an emergency and you need to run, then you know where they are, and you know what their hours are. Maybe there's some open 24 hours that you're definitely going to want to put in your phone. And note 24 hours, so that way you can go. But not all of them are open 24 hours, unfortunately, so you're stuck going to the emergency room sometimes, but not all the time. There's also the EAP and a nurse health line and all that where you can call to talk to registered nurses and really find out whether you need to go. Out-of-pocket max includes the deductible. I put it in red, it's just important because we're going to come back to it. $5,500. So just know in your mind that on this plan, including the $1,500 deductible and the 20%, 80-20 thing, you're not going to pay any more than $5,500 a year. I don't, chemotherapy, radiation, full cancer treatments, probably around $500,000. $5,500 is max for you. Okay. Non-network benefits. If you choose to go out of network, this is okay. If you choose. But I don't like it when somebody makes a mistake and goes out of network. If you don't go to this website and check your providers, then you're going to be stuck out of network. There's no more doctor's office copay anymore. You have a $3,000 deductible. Then you have to pay 30% to $11 grand. Okay? No more doctor's office copays if you don't go in network. That's why I wanted to stress that so much. But if you choose to do this, that's okay. And the reason why you would choose to do it is if there was a specialty provider somewhere that wasn't in the Blue Cross Blue Shield network, somewhere in like New York or something that you really wanted to go to, and you have an acute illness. Great. If you can afford it, go, because then you can go to anybody. There's also some other usual and customary fees. It's very dangerous to go out of network. Okay. Also, I want to guide you a little bit. There's an acronym, and you might want to write this down. It's called RAPEL, R-A-P-E-L, R-A-P-E-L, R-A-P-E-L. It stands for radiologist, pathologist, emergency room doctor, and lab. Radiologist, anesthesiologist, pathologist, emergency room doctor, and lab. Those are the ones you may not have control over, but you may actually have more control than you think. Just give you an example. Let's say a maternity claim. A woman goes in to have the baby. She may or may not have control over who the anesthesiologist is because they're just on call. You knew the doctor. The gyno was coming to catch the baby, and then you know where the hospital is, and that's a network. So you got those under control. Excuse my euphemism. But you may not have any control over the anesthesiologist. So but you might have more control than you think, because I've done it. I have 4 kids. One of them I had to switch the anesthesiologist out. So I just had enough knowledge to know that anesthesiologist wasn't in my network. I asked, I said, are you in my network? And they said, no, we don't take that insurance. And I said, well, I don't want you having my wife epidural. Give me another one. And they did. I was polite about it, and they did. They switched it out and they said, okay, well, this anesthesiologist is in. They don't have to do that, but you have the power to ask those questions. And now that you know, you can make those decisions, and you know that RAPEL is where you're going to run into problems. So you may want to just ask those questions, because you could be in network all along, and then that anesthesiologist that I was talking about sends you a separate bill. It's not, doesn't go towards the $1,500 deductible or 20% or this $5,500. It's its own separate thing. It goes towards this $11,000. So you got to be careful. And it's nothing different than what you had before. It's the same thing. It's just you didn't have any, didn't know it maybe. And knowledge is power. C, prescription drugs. 15 for tier 1, tier 2 is 40, tier 3 is 60, and tier 4 is 30% to a 250 max. All right? I guarantee if you're taking a tier 4 drug, it's an expensive one, because there's only a very slim number of drugs in that tier, first of all. Like rheumatoid arthritis has a drug right now that's $1,500 a month.
Wow.
And that's not the cheapest. I've seen them up to like $6 grand a month. But that's a good deal if your maximum is $250 on that drug. All right? But most of your drugs, tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 are going to be 15, 40, or 60. If you want to know where those drugs, like where your drug is in those tiers, you can go to this Anthem, or you can go online into a more extensive one, to anthem.com. After you can go, even get a login and go in there. And then you can actually download it as a PDF, send it to your doctor, and ask your doc, say, hey, I'm taking one of these tier 3s. Can I take one off this list instead? And I have lots of people do that. I have lots of people that split. If you know how to split pills, does anybody in the room split pills? Like use pill splitting? Yeah, saves you money, right? So instead of, I'll just give you an example, easiest way I can explain it is I take Lipitor, 10 milligrams once per day. So just to do my cholesterol, to fight with cholesterol levels. And instead of taking 10 milligrams, or instead of asking for 10